We're going to look now at ratios. So a ratio is just a way of relating quantities of two or more things. The order in a ratio is crucially important. A ratio should not contain any units. Ratios and fractions are closely linked. A ratio of red objects to blue objects is 3 to 4. That means that for every 3 red objects, there are 4 blue ones. This is simply another way of saying that 3/7 of the objects are red and 4/7 of the objects are blue. So how we look at that again, you can see here you've a total of 3 parts and 4 parts, so a total of 7 parts. So that's why it's 3 out of 7 to 4 out of 7 really is what's going on. To simplify down a ratio, convert all the quantities into the same units, and then simplify the numbers by cancelling as far as possible, keeping them as integers, which means whole numbers, and make sure you have no units and remove all the units at the end. So the first one, we have just 2 to 10. I'm just going to say equals, and both numbers divide by 2, so go down to 1 to 5. For part B, we have 3 to 33. Both numbers divide by 3 to give you 1 to 11. C, this is a ratio with 3 bits in it. First thing I would do is I would divide through by 10 to give me 150 to 1 to 20, and that's actually as far as we can go. That's all we can do. Okay, part D, first of all, we've got units involved in this one. Are the units the same? They are the same, so we can just get rid of the units. So that's going to be 10 to 2, and then both divide by 2 to give you 5 to 1. Next one, we've got 1.2 kilograms to 50 grams. So I'm going to make these both grams. So that's going to be 1,200 grams to 50 grams. I'm then going to get rid of the grams. So it's going to be 1,200 to 50. So I've got rid of the units. Then I'm going to divide by 10 first of all to give me 120 to 5. And then I can divide both things by 5. 120 divided by 5 would be 24. 5 divided by 5 would give me 1. And last example says 2 pounds to 8 pence to 1 pound 20. Going to make everything pence. 2 pounds is 200 pence. And I've got 8 pence. And then I've got 1 pound 20, which is 120 pence. So I could write that just then as 200 to 8 to 120. And then 8, divide everything by 8. 200 divided by 8 would just be 25. 8 divided by 8 would be 1. 120 divided by 8 would be 15. And there we have it. Okay, some ratios will not cancel down perfectly, so that you'll have some number to 1, a whole number to 1, or 1 to a whole number. So they may contain fractions or decimals. So it says in this example 20, it says, write the ratio 7 to 10 in the form 1 to n. I'm just going to write the ratio going again, 7 to 10. And to get the 1 first, what I've got to do is divide by 7, sorry. So if I divide by 7, I'm going to have 10 over 7, which is the same as, well, I will actually just leave it like that. You could change it, I suppose. You could write it as well as being 1 to 1 and 3/7. But this is probably the better way, the nicer way of doing it. Example 21, same idea. I'm going to write the ratio down 8 to 18, and then I want this 18 to become 1. So how I've done that is I've divided by 18. So that's 8 over 18, and when you do that out, or you cancel down, you will have 4 over 9 to 1. Next example says, linking ratios and fractions can help us solve problems. So, in this first example, it says 2 to x is equal to 3 to 5. Now, what you can do is you can write that as a fraction. So, you can write it as 2 over x is equal to 3 over 5. And then what we're going to do is cross multiply. So, what I mean by that is this x comes up here and multiplies, and this 5 comes up here and multiplies. So 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times x is 3x, and then we're just into a linear equation. The 3 comes across and divides, so you'll have 10 divided by 3, which is the same as 3 1/3. For part B, same idea, but just a little bit uglier. So for part B, you're going to write this. We have x to 7. I'm going to write that as x over 7. And then we have x plus 3 all over 10. And then again, we're going to do the old cross multiplying trick. So that's going to multiply across here. That's going to multiply across here. And then you're going to have 10x is equal to 7 upon x plus 3. And then just multiply your brackets. 10x is equal to 7x plus 21. Bring all the x's to one side. I'll have 10x minus 7x is equal to 21. 10x minus 7x is 3x is equal to 21. I'll continue up here. So what did I have? I had 3x is equal to 21. X then is equal to, x is equal to 21 divided by 3, which means your x is equal to 7. And that is it. This example says, find x if 10 to x is the same as x plus 2 to 12 and x is positive. So we'll set up our fraction equation. So it was 10 to x, so that's 10 over x is equal to x plus 2 all over 12. And then what we're going to do is cross multiply again. 10 times the 12 will be 120. Then cross multiply your x, multiplies your x plus 2. Multiply out, you will get x squared plus 2x. Bring everything over to one side, you'll have x squared plus 2x minus 120. And then we have to do our sum and product. So your sum, remember, this is going back to your M3 last year. Your sum is a number in front of your x, which is 2. Your product is a number on its own, so it's minus 120. And we've got to figure out what these things are. So I'm going to do the working out for this over here. So I have minus 120, and I've got to figure out two numbers, find two numbers such that they multiply to give minus 120 and they add to give minus 2. So I'm going to start with minus 1 and 120. Clearly don't add to give 2. Minus 2 times 60, minus 3 times 40, minus 4 times 30, minus 6 times 20, minus 8 times 15, minus 10 times 12, and of course it works. And as always, as soon as you see it, think, how did I not see it at the start? So we've got minus 10 times 12. So the two numbers that go into our bracket, we have our 0 is equal to bracket x minus 10 upon x plus 12. And that means that your x minus 10 is equal to 0, or it means your x plus 12 is equal to 0. So if x minus 10 is equal to 0, that means x is equal to 10, or over here, it means x is equal to minus 12. So the question says x is positive, so your answer is x is equal to 10.